It's a great joy to be able to introduce Dr. Khaled Esseissah, who is Assistant Professor of History here in the University of Wisconsin-Madison, who's going to be sharing some of his research today. He's a specialist in the history of Islam, slavery, colonialism, race, and gender in 19th and 20th century West Africa. He's working on refining his book manuscript. I believe he has at least a full of it, which is entitled Emancipation, Authority, and Global Muslim Citizenship, Haratan Reformist Intermediaries in Colonial Mauritania, 1902 to 1960. Professor Esseissah has a really incredible and international education. He studied at the University of Nouakchott, at Sheikh Anta Diop in Senegal, and then in the Midwest at Bowling Green State and at Indiana University, where he got his PhD, and I had the great pleasure of serving on his dissertation committee. Today, he's actually going to be talking to us not about his first book, but about his second research project, which is entitled Mawalis, Craftspeople, and the Making of a Subaltern Saharan Muslim Intellectual Community in West Africa, 1800 to Recent Times. So I pass the baton.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? Good. Thank you very much, Marissa, for that kind introduction. And thanks for the African Studies for inviting me to talk about, share some of my findings. And I want to preface my talk today by saying a few things. One, this is really a work in progress, right? I just finished the first draft of my first book manuscript, so I'm excited about that. What I'm going to be talking about is the second book project. I was in Mauritania last summer, and I did some research, and I found some really exciting stuff that I want to share with you. But I want to say this is really a work in progress, and I'm presenting it today to really hopefully your comment and question could help me think about my own blind spots and things that I should investigate more. Also, what to do with this material, right? So that's the first point. The second point that I want to mention is related to, I think is important, that will allow you to appreciate or at least understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to do with this material. The site of my research is Mauritania. I'll be sharing the map so all of you can see it. Mauritania is a very interesting place to do research about the question of Islam and scholarship, but also a question of Subaltern Muslims and non-elite Muslims. Those of us in the West familiar with Mauritania, usually Mauritania rarely makes it to the news, and when it makes to the news, usually it's two things. One is slavery. Mauritania is the last country to abolish slavery. That's known to many of us, but usually the attention that it gets from the international media is really focusing on the question of slavery, exploitation and all of that. So that's when Mauritania makes it to the international media. The other thing is scholars, right? Especially those who are interested in the question of Islam and Islamic educations are very much familiar with Mauritanian scholars, right? Mauritanian scholar in America, one of the most known Muslim American scholars is Hamza Yusuf, who is the founder of Zaytuna College in California, right? He's very well known, very well established. He studied in Mauritania. He studied with Mauritanian scholars, Mauritanian ulama, right? So that's the second, that's the reputation that Mauritania has. These two things, for me, is also problematic, the way they are framed in the media, also the way they are framed in scholarship, right? When it comes to Islamic education, the focus is usually on the elite. And I'll be talking about different ethnic groups so you could appreciate what I'm talking about. So the focus is usually on the Bizans, Mauritanian ethnic groups known as the Bilan. These are a mix of Arab and Amazigh or Berber, who are well established as scholars, but the focus that Mauritania receives is usually on these groups and their scholarly production and their scholarship. And they rightly deserve so. But by focusing on that group, we miss a lot, right? So usually when it comes to Mauritanian studies or Sahara studies, the focus is usually on the slave or the scholar, right? And there is, to me, is this group that is kind of capitalistic group that moves back and forth, that is not studied. Among them, the Haratin community that I was talking about, but also other groups that I bring to this study, which is the Ma'almin or craftspeople, that are very important to this society, and that sometimes, they don't get deserved. So that's where I'm coming from. All right, let's get started. So that's where there, kind of in the edge of the Sahara regions, both Africa, South the Sahara, North Africa, both in terms of its population, but also in languages, in terms of the geographical space. I'm mostly focused today on what is called the Hassani phone space, or the Hassani phone people, or Hassani phone world. And that goes from this area here, Western Sahara, all to this area here, including what state Mauritania, but also includes this area, what's known as Azab. And this is all these areas, historic people move back and forth in terms of, the trade, the top, the slave movement of people. So that's what I'm focusing on in my research. So today I'll be focusing on this town, Na'na, and then I'll to zoom here. Oh, sorry, should zoom. Sorry. Sorry. I need some help here. So and Islam, uh, uh, scholar think of the book, if not more in terms of self-protection of not cannot give that attention. In terms of the people that okay, let's see. Okay. So that overview of what view of what the find that able to find is the concept of right, what interesting term we're talking about as Ma'almin. This book I it on the found on the source of the right manuscript that I was able to uncover. It not Islamic scholars, but their contribution of it because the patient structure that are like this the contemporary, right? The Mawali, but historically Mawali that refer to refer in but in early time the concept to 1800, 1900 comment era is referred to Nasr, who accepted Islam become so after who accepted Islam his they accepted Islam become part of it. All Arabs who came to Islam at some including Turks, but also people who never been like they are first at they could talk so but you in the word at emancipate that referred non-Arab referred in the big but it's like the or think group that I'll talk about them in so I'm not we mean by intellect and how to find intellect and the graph of what means by intellect. So this the idea group community they could have but I thought now pragmatic and that is not by perform have and I not is it is back the state in production or fight, right? So this group contributes to different ways through pragmatic knowledge or through and that's where I see the source that it that group so right from drum who wrote their uh on Arab right so Arab Chronicle uh French they were before that, especially the map of map is including alpha is in what they so the French were it for it right community there's also right material of practical. These are produced the tools in right the uh the right tool the right tomorrow these are used by Craftspeoples as tools are very important. All that important source all reviews all that I of different kinds of to be to uh reconstruct history. I thought what this was uh, is Mauritania, a part of Mauritania, and the use of the of my heart. I hope Hassan as the time and the Hassan the Arab group um in different ways Mauritania beginning the 15th century and they imposed their rule in on different groups. From there, the Hassan group applied to different groups that includes and they are defined as the plant that term that I are well known with the plant group, and they include this Hassan and Zab, and these are the Hassan are the middle and the Zab, they are known as people of Nile, and this like that what the state in the when we talk talking about the and that's so that's the heart of state, and people in the 80s start to try from that town to go back there to look, and that's within of these groups. But Hassan put other groups that are kind of of social lab, that include Almi, include different groups now, but and Harati are not like, but they are uh, considered defined in broad aspect of like, but people who have either because they are because they are because they have lived it long the Harakin, they are of the not platform who adapt some of Haratin culture aspect and focus and then they become part of the Harat and they have that stigma of paper with, and I back to this group. So the book, again, are same coin. These are group fight. They are respect the respected property are appreciated because the work they provide, but and they are seen uh, as not equal the or the Hassan because of it as the because of the stigma, because whatever are not as equal. The Harat that is they are part. They are reborn. They are plated. They are black, white, Islam. They are Afro. All they have all these multiple identities, and that's what makes them very interesting as a group in the society. Okay, so into one add for the the uh, that usually refer to, and in terms there are people some people treat it as Jew and are treat the North Africa. I've found they they don't prefer that they not Jews, right? They're not Jews. There are that mention that. So that's going to focus on it, the production that they make in terms of who, in terms of the contribute to this site, this site that about, but never quite the people who produce the tool for. This is a source that book by Ahmed Amin, the first book, and talk about goes on to talk about different communities, the history, people, and he and then in that passage where he talked about the the tools that they make, but also how oppressed by and by light. And talk about that the Jewish order, or at least well, that's it. And some needed that, but again, but I talk about don't, not that commitment that they but that's just a point to make here because that's you know yeah. So that والمعلمين يقتصدوا um, women to the production of their specialized uh, they have certain occupations that are associated with women, especially in terms of book craft, this book manuscript, jack, they are produced by and women from uh, and what is good, you know, uh, that are very, uh, very for African society, which were the book called the Walk for Art and the idea, creating that all that the history of Islam and Islamic thought. But this, you know, the people produced out of the South, all, the, the work that goes in terms of distribution of tools that allow to study from scholars. The device very cool also, the wooden palms that people use, right? That people use right with, and I'll be showing some today. This is from another Mauritian history, also talking about, Ma'alimi and of the, they do think they contribute to the society. Everything that's like for the colonial intervention, everything like returns, all were produced by Ma'alimi. This what the tool allows people to memorize the Quran for this of Muslim societies. Again, are some of the tools that are put here. Before I, I uh, in there are Alpine I don't have them today, but because sake of time, but there are really good heavy lifting duty work, yeah, tafsir or aqidah and all kinds of Quran. So that that's it. So yeah, which fact the fact is this you know this big uh, and the identified that are very important that he was a very very skilled craft professional right known for his right was also for and stuff he from this area this but he it's very good as like people move to you know area what Africa here move back for of for opportunities trade with commerce because of that he would move with his family to next. This move from that, uh, say a little bit about the tech. Yeah. So this as not as not, but the what uh, my Mandi community transportation will collect the fuel and give the money for, but that transportation will come up with the that complete that product that has become up, and this, when it becomes up, the product becomes very solidified. But then it, the family have sent from my kids to a next, and then he uh, 1807 when it came. So that took that, you know, this specific stuff this great when it came. Even, you know, somebody from the heart to be able to keep that that if you know, right, uh you know, documented the history. uh this is also, you know, it mahal the after for the and a tool for teaching you know, this sort of, you know, right about as when I came across this as an important figure, and this is the front what is how yet uh that talk about this source really uh, figure in things that happen in the data in that for people when one for people for in name when he died uh, and a friend, right? But also you know about uh, that the about in idea of idea like Islam uh, uh, so you know, well, you know, this well, the short and the main this people there are mentioned people that try to piece get good about the uh in a problem in uh and I move on investigate, you know, luckily I know this that I come from that bit by this figure. It uh, uh, you know, tap the on and put the hook uh, himself. You know, I did also into his family. Uh, the second of in, in you know a picture. This second, but this is not was back up in it go confident. Um, uh, he did so the Kunta family are very well considered in West Africa. They would speak and and uh, they contribute to the spread and but also very political and, uh, it became, he went to the Mukhtar in Azawa, where he spent time with. And this is important because this shows you the love of writing that he was involved, the love of manuscript that he was able to write, and also the appreciation that even as a member of the Harat community, able to associate with the Sheikh al-Mukhtar. This is the map. Again, we'll figure what with this method, but it just to show what able achieve in terms of and some of right. I have been able to find some of the stuff that he prescribed, so nothing of production. And just of they and on the manuscript. So this is still work progress, still quick book for me to all material, especially is migration moving from in the southern or which also present out, but also, in my view, it ended up actually some descendant and upset in more in present out and stuff and all the way to Burkina Faso. So one way to me to follow, this really kind of give sort of attention to who is really important. Most of it, the University of Oxford, when I was there, I've heard of most people don't exist. Very few people know about George and contribution. They have it up his recognition of contribution as to his growth. This is the video, in Arabic, I'm going to play just a very brief that talk about
نصيب المدرسة الخامسة من مدارس التأسيس، من مكونة مدارس التأسيس. مدرسة نكرم فيها الشيخ عبد الرحمن صنبة، ويستلم تكريمه البكاي عبدي صنبة، يسلم تكريم والي ولاية نواكشوط الغربية. الشيخ عبد الرحمن الصنبة هو أحد مؤسسي مسجد النعمة ومن أكبر خطاطي المصحف الشريف في تلك المنطقة. هنالك نماذج من خطه ربما تظهر لنا على الشاشة. هنالك نماذج من خطه للمصحف الشريف تظهر على الشاشة الآن، وهو أحد مؤسسي مسجد النعمة.
Okay, I'm going to stop it. So basically, at the end of his children, like this, it's basically to say that on Abdurrahman it contributes what the founding the mosque of Ni'mah. This is the first time it happened. Somebody as from the Haratin community as a scholar to be honored by the British state. So it's a big deal for us, for there, it's really important. Okay, so the next speaker is Sheikh Muhammad will also from Accra. Now, he was really good, for contribution to poetry, especially this art that are very good, and especially people it's very important, you know, that's what you know, in our, but not, uh, but also for, for, uh, in fact that you know, that that big, you know, the important part of it is so you who uh, contribute in the Arab transport and that have both Quran and the support Islamic book. So it was the one thing is that uh, in Nahu and Quran. He also more you know, and you know, they, they, you know, because you know, yeah, so they should be able to have a rich job where they create, you know, all their it is big deal. Profit is a bit that which you know if this stuff uh this community talk uh, 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 Sheikh Ahmed uh, that that free and the very throughout the world very out for transport. He specialized that this very when people that they come that not what we this is very advanced level that and you know a responsible for teaching that provide that okay. Uh, this is up it right right got up the you know the great prophet or praise of you know of his you know his teacher or some his, you know you know the stuff that we had uh this is the you know uh, you know important uh, that I was able find here kind of you know this kind of work is important for you know centering Sahara intellectual you know we're thinking of Sahara and not just Sahara West Africa you know over the last you know 20 30 years you know kind of you know a rich but just about societies in Africa and their contribution and their production and you know scholarly production and their contribution to the rest of the Muslim world. But that literature has been focusing really on elite, on the Sufi state, on Sufi shuyukh, on the top, less on non non group. And I think this, you know, it's important to pay attention to, you know, recognize manuscripts and book trade manuscript culture. Uh, the role of I think craft people and you know contribution. This you know top I got I this I in a in first book and some of I got with it and the top of West Africa have craft people in as who produce no but their contribution like they take what are to tell the whole story about in Africa. The other is it also contributes the importance, but it's also small body literature on the cities in Africa. At that point, who said Charles Tobin wrote an important essay on this is Wala at not in what that it that not pay attention and that we not pay attribute of that man that not and so the it's not why stack and become important to the society through education, especially people like Arvin and Ma'alim. With that, we'll stop here and yeah, thank you for listening.